And I said, well, I understand, if you're not going to hire me because I'm trans. And I would never forget, he looked at me, he said, that doesn't matter to me. What matters is that you're going to be a great employee.
Absolutely.
And he said, I see that in you.
Because you guys, they not only have not ever cared about us or respected us, they're trying to erase us.
That is a siloing type of tone. And
I've never, but speaking of my experience, I've never had a white person call me a tranny.
Not that you know of.
We will be discussing whether you would allow them to pop or pass that cherry. So if you like them, you'll be like, girl, they could definitely pop this cat. You know what I'm saying? God. And if they not your tea, you gonna have to pass.
Okay.
Okay, and girl, they know you ain't did before, bitch. So
when she walks in the room, say honey. When she's right in front of you, say honey. Won't you bow to the queen? Say honey. When she walks up to the scene, say honey. Oh yeah. Go off, mother. Say honey. Oh yeah. Say honey. Oh yeah. Yes, honey. Say honey. Respect a queen when you see one.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Cherry the Boom, and we are here with another episode of Cherry on Top podcast. You guys, today I'm just so excited. I can't stop smiling. We have a very special guest today, and she's someone that I love dearly. It's one of my sisters, y'all. And I'm just so happy to be able to share my platform with someone who I look up to, who I admire, and who has inspired me in so many ways. So before we get started, I just want to take the time. I do it at the end of the episode all the time, but I definitely want to start off by just saying thank you to everybody that supports me. You guys, this podcast is starting to become a thing. I'm very, very excited, but every time I go live, I stream, I'm out in public, I am having people come up to me just saying, I love the podcast, great work, keep it up, we've been wanting this from you. And I just want to let you guys know personally, that really means a lot to me. I'm actually having fun. And if anyone wants to promote, come on the show, any of that great shit, and you have good energy, you're good people, none of that weird shit. But I would love to have y'all on a podcast episode with me, just to have a great time, to educate the people, to have fun, to learn, to live, to laugh, to love. So a little bit of the things I want to talk about today before we get into our motivation is like, everybody wants to know, Cherry, what's going on with you? How have you been? What are you up to? And no shade. God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good. And lately, I just feel like blessings have just been coming in and pouring in. I really thought doing this podcast was going to stress me. I thought it was going to be too much work. But when I tell you, the people are hitting me up, coming on the show, and I mean quality people. I've been having a lot of people hit me up like, can I do this? Can I do that? And there's no shade. I just don't work well with others. I would sit on this platform by myself before I just allow anybody around me. And, but as far as life, girl, everything is good. Bills are paid. I look good. My health is good. Money is flowing. The niggas is acting right. I am single. Okay. I am very much single. Have been for a while and will be for a little while longer. What else is going on? Oh, I don't know if I said this already, but ladies, when it comes to getting your car situations handled, please take a man with you, because bitch, if you walk in there and you don't know what you're talking about or what parts are and what things are, I'm gonna just say the dealership tried to get me for $8,000. And I had to sit on that. Because I don't give a fuck how fab y'all think I am. Bitch, I don't have $8,000 to throw away on a car. If that's the case, we might as well just go buy a whole nother car. Hello? But all is well. My car is fixed. Brakes, rotors, new tires. Bitch, I'm sitting there gliding on the road. You can't tell me nothing. I'm feeling like a Martian in a spaceship just gliding up and down the highway. And as you guys know, that before we open up the show, I always want to open up with some motivation, some inspiration, and more than anything, a word from God. And today's word of the day is, or scripture of the day is being thankful for the little things. Sometimes we wait for big blessings and forget to be grateful and thankful for the small ones that God placed in front of us every day. The smile of a loved one, the warmth of a morning coffee, or even a quiet moment just to breathe and receive all the gifts that He has given us. When we stop to notice these little things, our hearts become lighter and our gratitude grows deeper. God's love is shown not only in big miracles, but also in the daily details that remind us that He is near. Bible verse of the day: give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. 1 Thessalonians 5:18. Amen. Like, yeah. But before we get started, I definitely have to show much gratitude to a lady that I am privileged to call my sister. She is an award-winning social justice activist. She is New Orleans' first and only transgender commissioner, city commissioner. And I am proud to be able to call her my sister. So when we get back, we're going to have a deep dive into a great conversation with the one and only Miss Mariah Moore. We'll be right back. Let's go.
She's an old school girl, full of pearls. She's seen it all, been around the world. She's had to fall, even crawl, but she got it back together. Now she's queen of the ball. She's a mother, she's a boss. She wears a crown, she paid the cost. When she's walking, they'll be talking, saying, "Brand, take a risk, take a head shaker. Don't forsake her. Say honey. Oh, yeah. Say honey. What's her name? Can you say her name when you know she's legendary? Let's start in January. I know you can remember all the way through late December. She's
Well. We are back, and I am here with the one and only, the Mariah Moore. Hey, sister.
Hey, girl.
What's going on, honey?
Nothing much.
Girl, it's been a long time coming.
Yes.
You guys, I want to touch briefly that when the whole idea of having a podcast came about, Mariah was one of the first people that I went and talked to. And since my sister is such a professional and a perfectionist, she was just like, girl, I'm not taking part of it until it is right. And, you know, and I want to tell you on this podcast, I thank you for pushing me to do my best in everything that I do. I will always say that this is one of the very few people in my real life that is there for me. I can call. We may bicker, we may argue, but this is one of my real sisters. And we have our ups and our downs, but we do know that there will always be love and respect. But bitch, let's get into it. The people want to know, who is Mariah Moore?
Oh, well, I mean, that's such a loaded question because there are many, you know, that's a multi-dimensional, multifaceted question. So I think that there's Mariah Moore, just the everyday person. Then there's Mariah Moore, the activist. And then there's Mariah Moore, the commissioner. But I think, you know, me as a whole, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I am a daughter of New Orleans. You know, I'm a very busy person. You know, my purpose is to serve people, my people, trans people, and to lead this, you know, leave the world a little bit better than I found it. And so, you know, outside of that, I'm a homebody, a little bit of an introvert. You know, I don't like to be around a lot of people unless I come to places like Atlanta, because, you know, it's one of my favorite cities outside of New Orleans. But yeah, I mean, I'm just, you know, an everyday, you know.
Girl, please, bitch, save all that, bitch. She's trying to stay humble. When I tell you, y'all know, it's one thing to be a diva, but my sister is a boss, bitch. When I tell you, this bitch be making me feel poor. Okay, let's really talk about it, girl.
No.
Everybody look at me as this done diva dada, but bitch, when I'm out with my sister, when I tell you I am always having a great time, money is never the issue. My sister always just make sure, one thing I love about you most is that you make sure trans women feel supported and seen.
Yeah.
Because we live in a day where trans people, we're it's common for us to get the leftovers.
Yeah.
You get what we give you. You get what's left over, even in our own community. And being around you, one of the things that I love most is you're one of the girls that not only work for trans people, but you are good to trans women in real life.
Yeah. You know, and I just feel like, you know, certain experiences don't only motivate, but they inspire.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't think that we often enough we give our own folks experiences that they don't have access to.
Right.
So meaning nice hotel accommodations, wonderful meals, allowing our community to see what it really feels like to be taken care of and to be given the same level of customer service and accommodation that any other person would, and without being stereotyped.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm always, you know, intentional about making sure that when there are trans people, specifically Black trans women in my presence, I make sure that they're included in that experience because
Right.
I want them to know that, you know, this is what you really deserve.
Right.
You know, you don't have to settle for the bare minimum. It's not what we deserve. We go through enough every day in life.
Yes.
And so when we have the opportunity to do wonderful, great things for each other, we should.
Yeah. And thank you for everything. Like, you are one of my sisters that I feel comfortable talking about everything. We've had real conversation, you know what I'm saying? Outside of the glitz and the glams and social media and different posts, like we've been able to have real conversation. So thank you for everything. Another one of the questions is, how do we know each other? And when people saw us taking pictures together, they're like, how the fuck do them bitches know each other? I'll tell my version, then you can tell yours.
Okay.
I remember first meeting Mariah through Miss Lawrence. We were at a pageant and he introduced us. And ever since that day, we have been inseparable. Ups and downs, like, bitch, you're my bitch. And one thing I love most about Mariah, and to all the trans girls out here, I hope you don't mind me sharing, but Mariah is one of the people that she can relate to all people. Like, no shade, she's been a girl who had to do what she had to do to survive in life. You know, so I always love to be around women like this because it lets all young trans women know, older trans women included, that sex work is not the only work that you can do. Now, there are some girls out there that, girl, that's what we like to do, bitch. We like to live a fast life. We like the fast coin. But I hate when people try to steer the narrative that that's all we can do. And women like Mariah, their voice is to let it be known that we are women. And just like biological women, we can do all things, whether it's on a pole in the bedroom or whether it's working for the city, working for the state, doing real work, working at a law firm. All things are possible.
Yes.
So I appreciate your visibility.
Thank you.
Bitch, with your pretty ass. I appreciate visibility in all ways and aspects because they try to limit us. No shade, they do. They try to limit us to one thing. Okay, so I love a bitch that can relate to everybody. What was your first time seeing me or noticing me?
So I think, of course, you have a big online personality. I think I had seen things like viral things. You know, it shows up in the community. But I'm not one to be like, oh, you know, I'm like, wow, somebody must have really made her mad. But also, like, you know, I didn't make any prejudgments.
Right.
Well, one of the things I did initially think was like, we're totally different. And so to your point, it was actually the Mr. and Miss Black America pageant.
Okay.
When Valentino was giving it up, I believe, or won. No, he won.
Yeah, that was the pageant.
He won. And I think we were all just out there taking a picture, and Miss Lawrence pulled you in the picture, and we just started talking, and I think we hung out like again the next day, and like, you know, but the first thing that folks were saying was like, oh Lord, y'all both have big personalities, and y'all are both big, you know, you all have such big lives that, I don't think that you all
We'll get along.
Get along.
Yeah, that was one of the things I remember when we first met. But I do want to take this moment to tell people, stop doing that. It's no digs to nobody, but I think when you introduce people and you have personally put certain ideas in people's head about each other, and it doesn't have to be talking about them or reading them, like small things like, oh, she might do this, or she be going off online, or she might say this, or she might say that. Allow people the space in the room to get to know each other, because I think that if we both were to listen to what people said about each other, we probably would never have the sisterhood that we have today. Yeah. So you guys, I also want to take this moment to tell you guys, get to know people for yourself. Sometimes people say certain things, just because they want no problems and they want y'all both to be safe. But a lot of times people are just haters. And sometimes people just know a lot of people don't want real bitches to link up because they'll be forgotten about. Let's talk about it. Hello. Another question. How did you get into activism? Like, how did you get into that? So, and no, not just any activism. I'm not talking about just making social media posts and giving your opinion about certain things. I'm talking about like speaking at the White House. I'm talking about speaking engagements, BET honoree, like.
Yeah, no. So as you mentioned earlier, I'm no stranger to survival sex work, and I support girls who are actively engaged in that line of work and who choose to be currently engaged, because sex work is work, and that's a hill I'll die on. And so I think for a good decade, in most of my 20s, I had engaged in survival sex work, and I had a really bad accident with a gentleman who attempted to harm me, and luckily I survived, but it did not come without the painful reminders, meaning I have rods in both of my legs, and I have a hard time walking, or, I can't kneel down. And so I knew in that moment, like, I can't, this is not the way that I want to die.
Right.
Right. And this is, me going through that experience gave me another chance to redefine myself and really forge a different path for myself. And so even in that moment, I didn't think that I would be in activism I just wanted to have a job and make good money and make a life for myself, a simple life. So I thought.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to get jobs, and nobody would give me a job, and it was really hard. And people just kept telling me, no, no, no. And eventually, because I had stopped engaging in sex work, I had lost everything. I had no home. My phone wasn't working. And so my friend at the time, Tristan, shout out to Tristan, allowed me to live with him. I slept on his sofa for, almost 6 months.
Yeah, no shade, girl. Speaking of, I want to give a shout out to Danye. We might not speak to this day, but that was my first gay father. And when that happened with me, I was sleeping on his couch. Yeah.
And so, and I will say this about my friend, he didn't make me feel weird about it. I think he created such a safe space for me because he wanted to see me, do what was best for me, and then just provide a better quality of life for myself. So I eventually got a job. I was working at the Macy's, and baby, I was making $7.25 an hour. But I was so grateful, and I felt so empowered.
Yeah.
And when I got my first check, I just remember I looked at it, and it wasn't that much, because if you ever worked at Macy's, or if you currently work at Macy's, you get paid on a weekly basis. And so, but I went to work and I committed to it, and I told the woman who hired me that if she hired me, I would do the very best job, and I would always be on time, and I would always show up, and I held to that.
Yeah.
And I got that first check. I was just looking at it, and I was just so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And it made me so happy, and I was like, that was the first, I guess, an alternative taste of freedom.
Yeah.
It wasn't much, but it was mine.
Yeah.
And I earnit, and nobody dictated to me or tried to leverage money.
And you didn't risk your life for it.
My life for it. And so from there, I just continued to work hard, and eventually they her name is Sheila Johnson. She owns Salamander Hotels and Resorts, and she opened up a hotel in New Orleans. and I went to the job search, and I remember going there and giving a very great interview. And the HR department called me in, and I said, well, I understand, if you're not going to hire me because I'm trans. And I would never forget this man's name. His name was Carlos Ramirez. He was going to be the general manager. He looked at me. He said, that doesn't matter to me. What matters is that you're going to be a great employee.
Absolutely.
And he said, I see that in you. And he gave me a chance. And I remember leaving that job interview. Mind you, it was going to be way more money than I had ever made, legitimately.
Yeah.
Like documented. I'm not going to say legitimate, documented.
Yes.
And I just walked home. I walked all the way home that day and I just cried. And I went to work in this gorgeous new environment, working for this Black woman. And I remember every time she came to the hotel, she always wanted to see me. Like she always wanted to see me. And so from there, I just continued to elevate. And so around that time, it was like 2016, going into 2017, we started seeing increased documented violence against Black trans women specifically. A number of girls had already been murdered. And this particular year, unfortunately, in New Orleans was the murder of China Gibson, which was a sister of mine and someone who I grew
Rest
up with.
in peace, China.
Along with a lot of other people. She was loved nationally, but beloved at home in New Orleans and Houston, because Houston, New Orleans,
that's where I met her
all the time. But, I remember that happening, and it was just like, it just hit me. It was just like, because I used to be of the mindset I would go home and go to work and nothing else had anything to do with me.
Yeah.
Because I had achieved my little piece of the pie. Like I got exactly what I set out to do. I got a job that paid the bills. I lived in a nice apartment. I was able to get a car because I was earning good money now. And, I was being elevated in the hotel business. So all that happened. And then this happened. And I remember walking to work. And I don't think I've ever told this story before, but I was walking into work and I had on my hotel uniform, and a news reporter came from around the corner and said, Miss Moore, can I speak with you? And I was like, what? And so they were like, what do you think about this? What do you think about the escalating violence, against trans folks in this moment? And I remember just like vomiting, literally like, blah, 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 and just giving my
honest opinion, right?
Honest opinion on it. I remember I got in trouble by the company. And then I was like, wow. In that moment, it came like, I'm a trans woman working in this company. And literally violence is surging in my community. And because I wore your uniform, you didn't want me to speak about it.
That speaks volumes. That speaks volumes.
And so from there, I'll never forget, they had the vigil for her and everything. And, I shout out to my community in New Orleans, because they kind of pushed me forward. They kind of put me front and center. When they were asking who to talk to, they would just say, go talk to Mariah, because she can tell you about all these things. And so they were kind of pushing me forward in that way. And so from there, I think it just kind of continued. And then Transgender Law Center back in 2018 brought a pilot program to New Orleans called Black Trans Circles. And that's where I met Raquel Willis.
Okay.
And so Raquel reached out to me and she invited me to the gathering of Black trans women. It was 10 Black trans women at that time. And I remember going, and I was very hesitant. I had, the tension between the girls a lot at the time.
Yeah, and it's still relevant today. Let's not sugarcoat it.
And so we went, and I remember being very quiet. And I remember Raquel just saying, she's like, you have a lot to share. And like, I see so much greatness in you. And so from there, I stayed engaged with her, and she, she's the one who actually got me the job at Transgender Law Center.
Yeah.
And since 2017 or 2018 up until now, I've been engaged with Transgender Law Center. So pretty soon, almost a decade that I've been there.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so, I started at Transgender Los Angeles as a contractor.
Mm-hmm.
I knew nothing about nonprofit. I knew nothing. All I knew is that, I was given a responsibility.
Someone opened that door for you.
Yes, because I have a voice.
Yeah.
But also because I have a lived experience.
Mm-hmm.
And it was my responsibility to use not only my lived experience, but my gifts.
Yeah.
A very talented speaker. And I didn't even know my greatness and how and where it would take me until, like you said, someone else saw it in me.
And that's how I feel. And to rewind a little bit, I don't know Raquel Willis personally, but I feel like my time with her is going to come, because when I live and respect a woman, I live and I respect a woman. And what she did for you, a lot of girls don't do. Because if I may be honest, I have a similar story like that. And I'm not going to name any names because I'm not doing this to bash someone, but I like to push it on Front Street. There's a lot of girls in our community, and I like to tell girls, trans women, no matter how we bicker, because we're still women at the end of the day, we are really all we have. No one else understands our transition. No one else understands our livelihood but us. So all this unnecessary shade and cattiness and a lot of crabs in the bucket, and y'all are not trying to help younger girls grow and achieve things and have a better life. Shame on you. You know what I'm saying? That's why when young trans girls reach out to me and try to get advice or help or anything, I try to do what I can do. And there's a lot of girls in position and power to help a lot of young trans women or other trans sisters, and they don't do that. They have the resources and they don't do it. They have the connections and don't do it. And I'm the bitch that's gonna call you hoes out and tell you bitch to do better, because we need each other. And you are not that above and beyond to where God can't humble you.
I will, and I will say this, and, it's not to play devil's advocate either, but I think that also, we live with a certain scarcity mindset. And I'll say that, and it's really hard sometimes being in certain positions and feeling like you're the only one.
Mm-hmm.
And people looking at you and feeling like, well, to your point, yes, we do have certain levels of access. Yes, we do have a certain level of resources. But oftentimes in a lot of these roles that we're in, there will always be more people in need than we have resources.
Yeah.
That's the way that,
I agree, but I do think that even in the process of not being able to help everyone, I get that. Mm-hmm. The president can't help every American. I get that.
Well,
no. Well, no shade, right? No shade to an extent. But what I'm saying is, like, there could be more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There could be more. Not even just the trans community. That's a Black people thing. It has nothing to do with just Black trans women. Black people are like that.
Well, I think so. I think there's a couple of things. So I think that there could be more. There could be more support. There could be more general support, foundational support. And I look back, and when I was a young girl and the older girls who came up before me, how they banded together and helped to support each other, including myself. Mm-hmm. We have moved away from that as a community.
Yes, we have.
And so we don't have the same kind of community solidarity that we did when I was in early, like 2007, 2008. I remember, if you didn't have a place to go, there would be a place found for you to go.
Yes, even if it was their living room floor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But also,
shout out to Paris Times, my gay mother.
But also, yes, indeed. Also, the elders in our community saw it as their responsibility.
Yes.
They saw it as because also those who came before them instilled that in them, because it was also their responsibility.
Yes.
So I think that, definitely the progression that has happened in society when it comes to technology and all these things has helped disjoint or contributed to the disjointment in our community, and has removed that family feeling, or that the responsibility that one feels to show up for the next person in our community.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I'm not just pointing the finger at the adults or the people with access and things like that, because there are a lot of you ungrateful people. I'm trying to keep it clean because my sisters will, but it's a lot. Y'all know how I give it up, you ungrateful hoes. Okay. But there's a lot of younger people that are not grateful. And let's be honest, we do know that with growth and maturity comes a certain level of respect. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that we have to, because you guys, they not only have not ever cared about us or respected us, they're trying to erase us. And it's so wild to try to erase something that is living. And, you know, we deal with things like, oh, that's why this happens to y'all. We don't do nothing that the average woman don't do. But yet when something happens to us, it's, oh, they try to fool somebody. Sweetie, we don't have to fool nobody. That's one of the narratives that I hate about our community. Like, that's all we do. We're only here to fool someone or trick someone. Why haven't any of you just thought that we're just existing?
Well, I think that you know, that narrative is really redundant at this point, and I think it comes from a place of insecurity and fragility as it relates to the male masculine identity. And I think that
but it's not just
also,
from masculine energy. Yeah.
It's also a way that their partners or, you know, women or whoever who engage with men who identify in a certain way, how they help to stay in a space of delusion. When I say delusion, it's like, oh, there is no way that this person who I am involved with could also be involved with it. There is no room for this person to be fluid because society says that a man is this.
Right.
And so with more conversation, and this is why I love the youth so much, and why I love to give space to youth to really lead us in these moments, because our youth are a wonderful example of what it means to be free and express themselves freely. And I mean, our elder generation, you know, we help to create that space for them to be able to do that. But while we have created that space, we also have to stop trying to take it away.
Okay. Well, that was a cute little conversation. I wish we had more time, but we can definitely, you're more than welcome to always come back. But before we get out of segment 1, I do want to ask you a few more questions, starting with, well, before we get away from the career and all of that, what do you love most about your job?
What do I love most about my job? I love being able to travel the world and the country. I love to be able to show up for folks where I can. I love to be able to, through our different programs at the organization, empower leaders on the ground, equipping them with the tools and the knowledge that they need to continue to do this work, to continue to forge a path towards a safer environment and society for our people. But I will, you know, just be a little bit biased when I say, you know, one of my absolute favorite things about what I do is, you know, the program that helped me get where I am, Black Trans Circles. And, you know, I love being able to, I mean, you were at the one we hosted in Atlanta in 2023. We had the big dinner, you know, being able to provide those experiences, being able to inspire women and femmes in our community to really, you know, press on.
Did you say women and femmes?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, women and femmes, you know, in our community to be able to push on, but also to set a standard for themselves, to say anything below this is not acceptable.
Now, bitch, you know, you got my attention when you say things like that, because a lot of people really don't know their worth. And with society really shunning us and pushing us down and giving us what they feel like we should have, which is nothing. I do appreciate those spaces where you deserve better. You know.
And to close that out, you know, and I know we'll probably talk about this in a little bit, being able to create a container where our community, specifically Black trans women and femmes, can come together and either meet each other for the first time, reintroduce each other to each other for the first time, or work through conflict. And when I say work through conflict, I mean really work through it, leave it there, and move past it.
Right. No shame.
And so so that's what I love.
Okay, and before we get out of this segment, how is the dating life?
I mean, I think you said it in your opening. I'm single. I think I posted a status about this a while
How long have you been single?
A long time.
A long time?
A long time.
Okay, I ain't go dig and poke because we ain't got much time.
I mean, honestly, I'll just say it like I've never been in like a real relationship.
Okay.
Like a real relationship. I've never been taken on like a real date.
I do remember you saying that to me.
And you gagged when I told you. You were like, Mariah, you are lying. I'm like, I have never been taken on a real date. I take everybody else, my friends, out, but I have never been taken on a real date.
We went on a date today, ho, and that's my first time ever picking up a bill, bitch. You're my bitch.
You know that, and I appreciate that. But you know, no, I don't. I've never been on like a real date, you know, and then I just don't get approached.
Well, fellas, you know, this is no dating show, but I know a lot of y'all men out there, especially you trans attracted butch queens and you DL men and all that carrying on. My sister's a good woman. I'll let you take her on a date or two, but y'all know how I give it up. She not me and I am not her. And baby, you play with her, we gonna have a whole one too. So I think you should get out there, live your life.
I try, you know, I actually was going to work with an Atlanta matchmaker, but I was like, nah.
No, let it be. And I'm not saying that does not work.
I don't live in Atlanta, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. Well, I'm trying to get her here. Okay, well, she tried to throw that out. But love comes, because I've tried online dating. And truth be told, and I'm sure you can relate in some way, I tell people all the time, I do think escorting has made it a little difficult.
Definitely. I think I've been scarred by it. It's hard for me to develop.
But do we want to say scarred, or were we open and privileged to see the truth about men?
No, I won't say that. But what I will say is this: the trauma that I experienced. Not even just from the violence, but being so transactional and so frequent that I feel uncomfortable engaging in it. I you know, the intimacy is difficult. So I think, you know, I've had to do a lot of work to work through a lot of the things that I experienced that are connected to the intimacy issues that I experienced. Like, I'm not a very like, I can't console you like if you're crying and you know, I'm not that. You know, I struggle with that. And
I appreciate your honesty, because my mom, I think, deals with that. Like my grandmother, my aunties, I can jump in their arms to this day and they'll hold me like a baby, an infant. But when it comes to my mom, like she'll say, I love you and things like that. But I just feel like.
And I mean it.
Yeah. But I think she means it.
I think that that's so much connected to emotions that are connected to whatever that. And it just makes it really hard for me, because things in my life have become so transactional.
And before we go into the next segment, I do want to tell people out there who do experience that type of exercise when it comes to being able to be affectionate and loving and all of that, work on it. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to shun you. It's nothing wrong with you being that way. But I do believe that love is so beautiful that we all should experience it in some way, somehow, some form. And we should also not push it away to where we don't allow others to experience our love. Because even though you may not be one of the most affectionate people, I have experienced your version of love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I want to say, I do want love, but I also, to your point, that is a bigger area for me. That is a barrier. Now, to your other point about the BS that we experience, you know, with the the secret lives and you talking to this one and that one. And, you know, me and you we could tell this story about the football player that was coming, knew where I lived because we had.
Okay, so I know we wish for time, but y'all, we got to squeeze this in real quick.
Knew that we had.
Quick, when I went to New Orleans one time, y'all know, bitch, no shade, especially a few years ago, bitch, anywhere I go, I'm posting the ad to the top. Okay. And y'all know, bitch, no shade. I just don't talk to men for free. So any man that I interact with, 9 times out of 10, I'm getting a little coin. So bitch, this one particular time when me and Mariah, we started hanging out, I came to New Orleans. I think that was to support the pageant you had. And while I was staying at her house, I guess a football player that she had been dealing with seen me, and I sent him
not in a transactional way, just somebody I was.
Yeah, she was doing it for free, bitch. I was needing my ducks. So, girl, he knew where she lived. They hung out. I guess they'd had some type of relationship. And girl, when he was coming over to see me, I sent the address, and just because it's her house and out of respect, I'm like, oh, girl, you know this man, da 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 da. And girl, she's like, he can't come up. That's mine. So
yeah, and I mean, it would, and I want to, and I do want to, and we can wrap it up because I know we're pushing time, but you know, in that moment, and I want girls to stop doing this. I had a problem with him.
Right. Like, how dare you come?
Not you.
No,
I had a problem with him.
Mm-hmm.
And
but these niggas is dogs.
And I want girls to stop having a problem with other girls when the men or whoever it is that, you know, engage in that kind of deceptive
bitch, he was
behavior.
fine.
Yes, and he still is.
Girl, and no shade, sister, you owe me one. You got to throw a nigga my way because, bitch, I did not have him because that's my sister. Now, bitch,
well, you can have him now because I'm done with it. But,
bitch, but no, it's no shade. It was what it was. He was fine, but it's never that deep over no sisterhood.
I want girls, specifically girls in our community,
stop getting into it over niggas.
To stop laying the responsibility at the feet of other girls when no accountability is given to the men or the other person involved, knowing that they're engaging in deceptive practices or behaviors. Now, it's one thing if she would have known because there's something we share, but we had never even had a conversation about this man.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it would have been different if we would have shared pictures. I would have said how blissful it was and all that.
Come on,
and
blissful.
then she would have said, I'm inviting a friend over and it happened to be him.
Right.
Then I would have had to pull on her coattail a little bit and be like, nah, Miss Thing, you got to get up out of here. But yeah, so I just want to encourage folks to lay the accountability where it truly belongs.
Yeah, no shade. So you guys, that was the interview part of our segment, but we will be right back with Pop or Pass That Cherry.
Yes, honey. Say, honey. Yeah. Say, honey. Respect a queen when you see one.
Well, welcome back, you guys. We are here with a segment, and as you saw the little awkwardness going on, my sister was trying to figure out what's Pop or Pass That Cherry. Well, my darling, Pop or Pass That Cherry is our naughty segment of the show, where we will be seeing some individuals. They will be posted, and we will be discussing on whether, let's come together a little closer.
Okay.
We will be discussing whether you would allow them to pop or pass that cherry. So if you like them, you'll be like, girl, they could definitely pop this cat. You know what I'm saying? God. And if they not your tea, you have to pass.
Okay.
Okay, and girl, they know you ain't did before, bitch. So, hello. Okay. Who we got?
Pass. Out of here.
No shade.
Out of here.
Wait, it depends on the picture.
Out of here. He is a terrible human being. Out of here.
Well, girl, a lot of the niggas we've been with are terrible human beings.
He is a specific kind of terrible. Out of here.
Girl, he's no different from the other butch queens we played with. She's messy.
No,
she run her mouth, here. But she got a coin, and it's no shade.
And guess what? And she don't spend it.
Okay, well. He ain't the best looking, but that picture right there, 50, I might have to dip up in that tub with you so you can pop this cherry or like, yeah.
Well, good luck. Oh. Yep.
Iman Shumpert. Don't even, you don't get to respond to this one. Okay, because now I'm going to pull your guild up. I have to have my girl moment right now. I have had the biggest crush on this man.
Yeah, he's quite
for handsome. Years. He is so my type. He is chocolate. He is tall, and he's comfortable with his sexuality. Like he does like things from extra masculine to extra feminine, and he's still. Iman, if you ever see this, I love you. I want to suck your dick. I want to love. I'm sorry. I love Iman Shumpert. Like, it's fucked up what he did to my twin.
Yeah.
You know, but these niggas is dogs, and she found something better.
Yeah.
No shade. She found something better. That's why I don't mind. I'll take the leftovers. But Iman Shumpert, bitch, if you ever want a piece of this, bitch, you can go and suck your dick, bitch. Who we got next, y'all?
No.
J. Cole.
Mm-mm.
You know, I love to say it. I am a pansexual, transsexual, and I'm not always about the physical. I think he's not a bad looking man.
He's not.
He's not my type.
I just need him to be a little bit more put together.
Yes, because you like butch queens. I like.
No, I don't.
I don't mind. We're gonna talk about that too. We got more topics coming up. I don't mind a eclectic man.
Yeah, I
Very
just want him to
artistic.
be more. I guess more groomed. When I see a man with dreads, I like them to be.
So what you think about Jay-Z? Because I think he got some of the.
Jay-Z couldn't touch me with a 10-foot cooking spoon.
Oh, okay. J. Cole, you can get a little piece. Okay.
Oh, definitely. Out of here. I'm married.
Jacob Lattimore.
I'm married. Oh, yes.
Is that Jacob Lattimore of the Lattimore?
Remember when we were at Essence? He was
That's
there.
who. That is him.
Yes, when we were in VIP at Essence, he was there. He was so sweet. He is so sweet.
It's no shade, y'all. Anything chocolate, I'm jumping on. No shade.
More caramel.
Okay, y'all, let's talk about that. Us in the black community, we have so many different segments of black and white. Girl, that's probably why they call me a colorist, which I am not. But like in this moment, I feel like we are both light skinned. But in this moment, if we had to pick who was light skinned or dark skinned, I would be considered dark skinned. Well, I know I'm not dark skinned, but I'm just saying, like, to me, you're either black or white. I love everybody, but bitch, all the different shades.
You didn't say black or white. You said chocolate.
Chocolate is brown. Chocolate is.
He's more caramel.
That's gonna be a conversation one day that we have on a podcast about skin tones. But either way it go, he could definitely get a piece. Chocolate, caramel, sandpaper, brag, brown.
And I love how nice he is.
Yeah.
No, you can go. You can go.
Can I be completely honest?
You can go. Yeah, you can go. I'm to go. No, not for me.
You don't even want to see how big it is, sister.
He's not my type.
Okay, well, I'll pass too, since my sister passed. But bitch, I'm the bitch that's be like, well, girl, can we at least see it?
Maybe
first?
that's why. I need to start exploring people's personalities.
Yeah, I'm not just about physical. Like, girl, that man can have a 6-pack, a nice body, a nice income, and a big old. I want to know, girl. Stop acting like you don't care about size.
I do.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm not a lesbian.
Well, Lori Harvey, girl, I had a couple of pussies in my life, girl. It's no shade. And Lori Harvey, she a bad bitch.
She's beautiful.
She's probably not nobody I would be with, but for the right coin and for the, just like if we were entertaining a man, like, bitch, I would perform with Lori. You wouldn't perform with her?
Well, I'm not a performer.
Lori Harvey.
I could write a speech
She could
for
pop
her.
this cherry. It's no shade. Fuck that. Bitch, how can you say no to a bad bitch?
I guess.
A bad bitch is a bad bitch. Like, yeah.
I'm not going to yuck your yum, honey. It's all what you want. Absolutely.
Pass. No. Oh, girl, I was so ready to open my mouth. I said the wrong thing. Will. Oh, Fresh Prince. Yes.
Even at his age, he's just so handsome.
Go ahead to the next person. I can't even look. Yes, go. I can't look at him. God damn, Will Smith. Jada, I would have never did what Jada did to him. Jada, shame on your pretty ass.
Sorry, Bow
Wow. No, I'm gonna have to pass. He just give me Nickelodeon.
Yeah, he also just be lying a lot.
Like, he's just never given me, like, I feel like the only time I've ever took him serious is probably when he was dating Sierra. And that was so many eons ago. Lil Bow was, no, pass. Yeah, he look Pitbull. A little Latino, a little
I've
Spanish.
never seen him without glasses.
He can get it.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Take me to Miami.
Okay, what's one of Pitbull's songs?
Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah, whatever his song is. I can't name a song, but yes.
That song with Kesha.
How it go?
I don't know.
Damn. No.
We love Felicia though.
Now, out of all them names that's up there, girl, you could have called it that
Felicia Snoop Pearson.
But out of respect, girl, she looked more of a Snoop than a motherfucking Felicia.
Snoop is Felicia's nickname.
Well, either way it go, I'm good on Snoop or Felicia. No, thank you. But hey, Snoop. No.
Did you see the episode, The Trap Queens?
No.
It's good. You should watch it.
No.
On Snoop.
Now, would you like to whisper in my ear what we were going to talk about earlier before we go to the next segment? Because I definitely want to get it all out.
I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember. Okay, you guys. Well, that was Papa Pass That Chair. We will be back for the next segment. See you right here.
Yes, honey. Say honey. Yeah. Say honey. Respect a queen when you see one.
Right here. Swinging, unless it's right here. Can you search me?
That's what they're gonna do, sir.
I don't want no men touching me right there. That's what I'm telling you. That's the whole issue. But since I don't want no men touching me, they got a problem with that. So can you search me or can a woman search me? It doesn't even matter to me.
Here's the thing. They're gonna search you, or you don't have to fly.
I'm not letting nobody touch my ass. So why does somebody need to touch my ass
You don't have to fly.
For what reason? When I'm asking a lady to do it.
Sir,
does that make any sense? I'm asking the lady. Okay. I'm not even making it a deal.
I'm going to tell you one more time. You can either get sir.
Hey, can you do it?
Hey, first of all, calm down. Let us work this out, okay?
So now that I got him, it's an issue. So you went from a woman to now I get this man. Now it's an issue.
Let us work it out. Give me a minute, okay? Just kind of try to
look where they pointed.
Help them. Can't do it.
But just look at where they pointed. They pointed my dick.
I'm telling you, hold on. Why can't he do it?
He can shoot if he wants. This doesn't work that way.
But come on, man. If he wants this guy to do it,
right point at my dick.
You stop. Let's figure this out.
So at this point, we called our FSD, and he's gonna have the last day he can even fly today. So we already started with this. I get it, and if he says it, and if he says it's okay, then that's fine. We have no problem. We've been trying to pat him down for a while now. We're not trying to hold him here, and that's what he wants.
They told me they said a lady. They said a man got.
Okay, well, sir.
I said just pat.
What's your name?
David.
Okay,
Dyer.
Okay, David.
From Atlanta, Georgia.
Listen to me. Try to just calm down and listen to me. This is how they do things. You can't decide who pats you down. Okay? So it's your choice. You can either allow them to do what they have to do so that you can get on the plane and go where you have to go, or you don't have to fly.
But let me ask
Those
you this,
are your
right?
two options.
Let me ask you this, right? So I'm allowing them to do the job that they want to do, right? But I'm not allowing them to elect the person that they want to elect because I want to elect the person. But I don't want no man touching me.
So here's the thing.
So what's the issue with that?
You don't have the ability to allow anyone.
Hey, but look, he don't even. It's not even no. I don't want no man.
David,
why do you gotta rub my ass?
Can you listen?
Hey, come on, just do it. Just do it. Just do it, bro. Just do it.
Who?
That's some stupid shit.
Gonna do it.
I could have let the man do it. I could have let him do it. I said I don't want to do it.
What's your choice?
No, y'all are saying y'all don't want to do it now.
You want to fly or not?
Come on, just let me get the to Atlanta, man. That shit really petty. Don't start hanging me and hanging me. I've been calm the whole time. Y'all want to pat my dick? No, we did it. You want to touch for me? Go ahead, huh?
I'm trying to get you to calm down.
It ain't no way to do that. Just let me get my shit so I can go.
We want you to go to Atlanta.
I paid to go to Atlanta. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
So let's get you there, right?
Hopefully.
Let's just get through this and get you there, all right?
We're gonna be right here.
We want to get. I'm done talking. Just do what y'all gotta do. I'm done talking though.
What's going on? You gonna let them pat him down?
Somebody touch me, search me, do whatever you gotta do. That's my dick though. That y'all talking about.
Hey, you're gonna have to come on, man. You're gonna have to keep
come on, what? It's their expense.
Hey, everybody
It's
gets
me.
Everyone goes.
It's on me.
Everybody does it. You ain't it. You're not special.
They would have to do it to me if it was me. You know? It's just the way. That's flying
but it's
though.
flying though. Big dog.
I get it.
Next to which?
Mike.
Next to which? Mike.
I get you.
If you ask for a lady to simply search you to still follow protocol, why don't you just send a lady? What's going on?
We're calling our FSC at this point for his behavior. We need to get his okay. The way he's behaving.
How much longer do we have to wait?
So
We can't let him stay here and continue to cause a scene. So.
if you guys want to take him away because of the way he's acting, that's on you.
Well, we would like for him to fly, but I need to know what's going on.
They make the phone call.
Yeah, that was too much.
Toxic masculinity at its finest. Like, Negroes, like, what are we doing? Like, all of that is so unnecessary. Sir, get your pat down. Go on about your business, girl. Don't be scared somebody go touch that big old piece of meat with your cute ass. Okay? I can't, like, that type of shit just really disgusts me. Like, all that is unnecessary. Bitch, you are at the airport. Okay? And we all know when you go to the club, when you go to a restaurant, when you go to a lounge, when you go to the airport, anywhere you go get searched, a woman is supposed to search a woman and a man is supposed to search a man. And that's just how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, also, like, it's very, it screams toxicity, but it also feels like he may not fly often. I mean, I'm just saying, because, we've had, I mean, if I don't speak for myself, I've had a number of cosmetic surgeries, and I go through with faja and all that all the time, and the same area that his thing went off, it goes off for me there,
No
it
shade,
goes
me
off for me on the
too.
back, but all they do is, like, just pat you down, and then they
No,
send you
I
on
do
your
think
way.
for men, I do think it is because I feel like when we are in our fajas and we are secured and our ladies' parts are put away, I do notice that it do go off in the groin area. Me, I'm not gonna lie, it do go off. But it's never been on women. It's just like a 1-2. I think on men, it is when they go up on your leg, because no shade, men can hide weapons and certain things like in their groin.
But they're not
grabbing you and touching you, but they are going to bump into it.
You're gonna go up one side of your leg and go down. Overall, it's just unnecessary.
And I do think that it's all about communication, because when I was reading the comments earlier, people were saying things like, what if he was touched or he has trauma from that area? Okay, sweetie, well, we all have trauma in some way, and it's about how you deal with your trauma. But what is happening is nothing out of the norm, and you should have communicated that, or braced yourself, just get your pat down and go on about your business. You're about to waste money. And you see that other lady, they already don't care about us anyway. So when you saw that other lady, she was already ready. She was one of them that would have been like, he's going to miss his flight.
Well, the thing also is
she was like, do y'all want to just send him back because he's doing too much? Did y'all clock that?
You could have also just opted to go into the room and do the strip search. So
yeah, that's true too.
If you don't want anyone touching you. It just seemed a little excessive. And I also think that he probably really didn't even have a problem with someone searching him. He was just probably aggravated.
Yeah, but doing all of that I don't know, it just screams toxic masculinity. And them be the main ones.
He was willing to let the black man search him at one point if you paid attention.
But that was after he made so much drama. Right. Like, if that was the case,
it's just toxic.
Okay, we can go to the next case.
You know what it is. But at the end of the day, it ain't not a trans person that is taking your job. It's not a trans person that is going to make it to where your food is going to be more expensive. Listen, they played on you. They played on your emotions, because literally the Heritage Foundation, they were running the traps. They understood how to divide us. So this next election, I don't care if it's a trans person, a gay person, I don't care what color they are. Y'all cannot allow them to divide you. They did the same thing when they said that the immigrants were going to take y'all's jobs. The only immigrant that went around snatching jobs was Elon Musk. I am here to tell you, because they specifically went into certain black communities and they said it's them that are taking your job. That was a lie. They divided us. So I don't really care. I get that we as black folk, we not a monolith. But when we roll down the streets, or our children roll down the streets, I don't care how many degrees you got. They look at you, they see your skin, and we are all the same. So this next election, the best thing that you can do after you get educated is make sure that you don't allow anybody to distract and divide us. We got to make sure that we stay focused. And staying focused means that we are going to look forward to a future that is better, not worse, for our children.
Yeah, I mean, I love Jasmine Crockett.
Me
I
too.
think everything she said was spot on, and I think should have been said a lot sooner, especially when we think about this last election and the fact that the far right spent $200+ million on anti-trans ads that really put us in this position or in this climate to frame trans people as the problem and the wedge issue, while the Democratic Party spent $0 defending us.
Yeah.
But also say how much they support us. They support marriage equality. They support equality for, ERA or equal rights amendments. And so their actions don't match their words. And so it's very apparent. I also think that, as we've continued in these recent weeks with all the rest of the current events with the mass shootings, the death of the murder of Charlie Kirk, we've seen those things try to be pinned on trans folks to try to push the narrative that trans people are the problem. We see executive orders being released that are saying trans people are part of extremist groups, and like gender ideology is a part of an extremist agenda. And so I think, it's going to take a lot more than just Jasmine Crockett talking to Black people, because what she's saying is absolutely the truth.
Absolutely.
Everybody wants, and if you look at history, people who seek authority, they always find the smallest, most marginalized group to make the issue, and then create the distraction while they're dismantling everything else around it. So by the time that, they've taken and seized total control, it's too late. It's too late. There are so many issues coming up. Birthright citizenship is under attack. Marriage equality may be next in the Supreme Court. We're already seeing the stripping away of the bodily autonomy in terms of reproductive rights, right? And so these things, they're creating distractions to distract from the real issues and the real things that they keep chipping away at. Yeah. And so I think, to Jasmine's point, Representative Crockett's point, specifically our community needs to wake up and realize that no matter whether you're trans, cisgender, heterosexual, gay, it is going to impact Black people, brown people the most. And it doesn't matter what level of degree you have, what kind of car you drive, or which neighborhood you live in. We just saw the superintendent of an Iowa school district, one of the largest school districts, I believe, in Iowa. Either it's Idaho or Iowa, don't quote me on that, was detained by ICE. Someone who is so accomplished, has many degrees, and is contributing positively to society, who is creating better environments for children, is now detained by ICE. And so, this is not a trans issue. This is an us issue, a Black issue. This is, this is an erasure of us, and a strategy to cede power. Yeah. Project 2025 is at 47% completion. 47%. It took the conservative right over almost 60 years to regain the level of power that they have now. And you see how quickly the land is shifting under our feet.
Yeah, right before our eyes. But honestly, watching that video, I just love her. And as a trans woman, to see a Black woman standing for us and speaking truth. We already be knowing the truth, but to see a Black female standing up for us, y'all be so quick to throw shit on that community. And
because she's speaking the truth.
Yeah, but it's not even about just the truth. We all know the truth, but the truth has been buried by so much hate.
It has been buried by hate. But one thing I love about Representative Crockett is that she understands that a fraction of her constituency are trans people.
Yeah.
She can see the value in all people. She can see the value in trans people. She understands that in order for us to make progress, it's going to take all of us.
Yeah.
And we have to stop making the focus undocumented people. We have to stop making the focus of this moment trans people. We have to stop, pushing mis and disinformation. Right? And propaganda, the things that they're doing, they're pushing propaganda. That's propaganda. Yeah. And so we have to stop also taking that on. We have to stand united. We have to have a messaging strategy and an action plan. And we have to be engaged civically. We have to be engaged civically at a local level, because guess what? All these things that are being passed at a federal level, who do you think, or how do you think you will be protected from the impacts of those things on a local level? So you have to have values-aligned elected officials that are going to be willing to codify protections, expand protections, and protect you at every single turn. And If we continue to sit these elections out, we're going to find ourselves in a more deteriorating society each and every day.
Yeah. Black people, we need each other. We don't need you to understand or accept, but we need you to embrace and love.
And then the last thing I'll say in terms of the trans issue is that, you know, it's easy for folks to only hear the voice of the conservative right because they are the majority right now in terms of leadership in government. But really, what the data says is that 60% of people that live in this country agree that trans people deserve right to health care, to gender affirming care.
That sounds great. But the fact that that's even a conversation just really...
It is.
Like, what?
Well, that's a conversation because trans people were used as the quote-unquote football in this last election and used as a to instill fear in people that somehow by trans people continuing to seek access, safety, care, housing, that somehow that was impacting or going to take something away from them.
But let's be honest, it was really only affected by the Black community. The Black community was really the only ones that were really excited about that and took part in that.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't agree with that.
I mean, of course, we already... No. When it comes to Black people, all they needed to hear was, oh, we're not going to allow these men in the bathroom and all of that. That's all we heard about that whole campaign.
Well, I think that you have people that will take that and say, and take a stance on it, yes. But it was really Moms for Liberty, these white conservatives that really pushed this issue. That really pushed this narrative that, you know, children, women were going to be harmed in restrooms when, guess what? Who do we continuously see going to jail for sex crimes against children? Who do we see continuously shooting
even though it may have been their idea, they also had our community supporting it and agreeing with it and understanding it and promoting it on social media.
I think that level of agreement or alignment with that particular issue that was raised by the right had some level of resonance with many populations. But in large part, I'll say this. I don't believe in large numbers that the Black community doesn't support us. I think that what I will say is this. I think that the ones that don't support us, it's a lot louder than the ones that do because it aligns with the overarching tone of the moment. I'll say that. I will say that. That's what I believe. Because I'm going to go back to the data and the surveys and all that has been done.
Yeah, we're going to have to see some numbers on that.
I truly believe that.
Because in everyday life experience, my personal experience is most of the hate that I've received in life has been from the Black community.
Okay, and you know, rightfully so. And that's an experience that I think we can all resonate with. But it's also like, how many times have we experienced microaggressions from white people?
But no. But they're doing it not because we're trans. They're doing it because we're Black.
Well, we don't know that.
No, that's a fact. We do know that. Because even I, as a trans woman, when I'm in public and I've had any issues with other races, it's been more so they treated me like a Black woman, a Black female. When it comes to the Black community, I have been shunned and disrespected because I am a Black trans woman.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not going to, refute any part of your experience because your experience is your own. But what I'm saying is that I think that the more we talk about these things, I think we need to be focused on using more unifying language and unifying themes and inviting folks in. I don't ever want to see when we say things like I've only experienced it from Black people. That is a siloing type of tone, and
but speaking of my experience, I've never had a white person call me a tranny.
Not that you know of.
And even then, that's the crazy part because I can name 100 Blacks that have. You too. You can't name a white person that has.
Well, I mean, you can't speak for my experience.
No, I can't speak for your experience, but bitch, let's do the ratios, bitch. You know, they're very louder than the other.
You know, actually, to be honest with you, I've rarely had those types of experiences.
How's this bitch?
Huh?
Nothing.
Okay. So, you know, I think that, I don't know. I think that there's just a lot more work to be done. Yes. And I think it's all our responsibility to do it. I think that it's also equipping ourselves with language and knowledge to be able to have generative conversations around our experiences and also connecting, you know, in shared lived experience.
Yeah. Well, I definitely enjoyed this conversation with you. And I have one more question before we close out. Mm-hmm. With all this conflict that's going on in the world, in our community, in the trans community, in the LGBTQIA plus community, in the Black community, what would be your advice on and how you deal with conflict?
That's a great question, Cherry. Well, you know, I'll say this. I am not a stranger to conflict. I've had my fair share of conflict. And I think that, you know, it begins with just setting an intention, right? None of us, we can't ever say that we're not going to be involved in any kind of conflict, that we're not going to go through conflict publicly. But I also think that if you are going through or engaged in conflict, it's about how you're moving through that with that person or how you're handling those situations. I will say that for me, you know, what's most important to me is reflection, owning my part, but also setting an intention to move past it and to heal from it. Because first and foremost, above anything else, I have a tremendous responsibility in this community, in the work that I do. But I am also not perfect. And none of us are, I think, but we have to be committed to each other, you know, committed to our collective liberation, and committed to progress. We also have to keep in mind that we're under attack and that, you know, folks will use our conflict that is displayed externally as ammunition. And so for me, one thing that I don't like to do is I don't like to publicly maneuver through conflict with people. I don't like to go back and forth. You know, I'll be more than happy to have face-to-face conversations. I'll be more than happy to work through things with folks. But how I move past it and the ways in which I move forward to ensure that I'm not involved in the same type of conflict again is important to me. So reflecting on the mistakes that I made, owning them, doing the work to repair or, you know, restore whatever harm was caused, right? And just being an adult. Just being an adult, I don't think that we have time or space right now to continue to address these things outside of our house.
And in question and answer, I am contestant number 3, Mariah Moore.
I cannot.
Well, you guys, as we get ready to wrap this episode up, I do want to say thank you, sister, for coming on my podcast. I think we had a great time. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Make sure I did it last week, but I want to say a special thank you to all of my supporters, but definitely my top 3 supporters of the week on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for all of your love, your unconditional support. I appreciate you. And as always, if no one told you that they love you today, I love you. Ciao.
She's an old school girl, full of pearls. She's seen it all, been around the world. She's had to fall, even crawl, but she got it back together. Now she's queen of the ball. She's a mother, she's a boss. She wears a crown, she paid the cost. When she's walking, they'll be talking, saying